Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast, presents episode 807, Halo Infinite First Impressions, recorded live on January 6th, 2022. Hello everyone, welcome to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, Duststorm.
I am your co-host, Godzilla T.
And I'm Haas.
And we have made it to 2022! A full year of Halo. Instead of 2021, since we only had that for less than a month. Anyways, we are back after a little bit of a hiatus with holiday schedules and everything. Everything was just a blur and got a little crazy. We had a few game nights, but we pretty much put the podcast on hiatus, let everyone enjoy the holidays, and now we're back and we're here. Gentlemen, I guess let's just start with the obvious. How are your holidays? How are your Christmases? How was your New Year's? GT, why don't we start with you?
Well, honestly, I actually had my Christmas right after the last podcast. we celebrated a week early because my brother was going to spend time with his in-laws.
Okay.
Unfortunately, his father-in-law was in the hospital with COVID. He is doing better, but he's still struggling with it.
Okay. Is it COVID related or is it just other health?
No, it's COVID, put him in the hospital.
Okay. That's tough.
But he is recovering slowly, so things are getting better. But yeah, our Christmas was great. We, did our usual celebrate and eat tacos.
Tacos.
We have traditional Christmas dinner. Tacos. Burritos, tacos, chili,
Interesting. I would not have really thought about tacos as traditional.
Well, we do that because, we do Thanksgiving, traditional Thanksgiving, turkey, dressing, green beans, mashed potato, the whole shoot match.
Sure.
And to do it, we have it out at my parents' house. Christmas we do. We actually had Thanksgiving out at my brother's house this year. And it just kind of breaks it up. So you don't, because traditionally Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinner are kind of close together as far as what's served.
Yeah. I
know people serve different things, but it just classically in our family, they've both been kind of the same. So my dad decided several years ago that we'll just do Mexican for Christmas. It's easy for them to prepare and it's not a lot of work because the food's really easy to prepare. So that's good. Yeah. And it's kind of a nice change.
Cool. No, that's actually pretty interesting. I've never really thought of it before, and it's just kind of cool to hear it being celebrated a different way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and nice. Everybody, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! 2022, yeah.
Anyway.
Very nice. Well, thank you for sharing. Haas, how about you in your trip to Hawaii?
Yeah, it was it had a little bit of everything. We left Christmas Eve as the white Christmas poured in back here at home. And we got to Maui. We got to see so right now this time of year is when humpback whales are giving birth. So we got to see some baby humpback whales and with their moms and all that, and they were playing. That was really cool. We got to see that like all week from our hotel. It dumped snow back home. Well, we were getting, nice sun. We went to a luau for Christmas dinner, and that was pretty cool,
Nice.
There on the beach and eating lots of food and having lots of pina coladas and Mai Tais and all the adult beverages to the liking. Got to spend a couple extra days there as well because we got our flights canceled. We were definitely affected by that. But overall it went really, really well. It's very cold back home. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling with the temperatures right now, but overall, can't complain. So it was a really nice time. Great New Year's. We got in Tuesday morning after a red eye. So
Very nice.
Yeah, a lot of good time with wife, kids, and then my wife's family, and it was a good trip.
Very nice. Good to hear. As for me, I actually flew to Houston on Christmas Day to celebrate with my side of the family. Since my wife and I both work at our church, we worked our Christmas Eve service, and then we flew out the next morning to Houston. Spent a few days there, about 4 or 5 days, then came back. And for New Year's, we just watched Pirates of the Caribbean. I built some Halo Mega Construct sets, and we pretty much just laid back, ate finger food, and other than that, pretty simple.
That sounds awesome.
Yep. It was nice. Nice not to have a big hubbub. We were trying to get together with some friends, fell through, so we made the most of it and just sat back and relaxed with it.
Mm-hmm.
So any interesting gifts or exciting gifts that you guys want to share that you got over the holidays?
I got that guy. Tiki dude.
Nice. You get that while you're in Hawaii?
Yeah, at the luau. It's my wife got it for me. It's for my birthday. You got it like inscribed and stuff, and
Nice.
the tongue sticking out means warrior. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Ooh. Very nice.
Very cool.
Cool. That's a nice little gift, especially if you can
It
get
is.
something regional.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. How about you, GT?
I got a gift card.
You never go wrong with gift cards.
You can't. It's my favorite present as I enter into my adulthood. That is my favorite gift, is when people get me a generic gift card, not like a store specific one. Like if it's Amazon or like a Visa credit card, those are my absolute favorites.
I was going to ask, do you consider Amazon a generic enough
Oh yeah,
gift
because you
card?
can get anything there.
Right? Yeah, pretty much. We got several gift cards ourselves. We got several Home Depot gift cards because our contractors are back and we're actually getting things done in the house and we're making things change for the house and things are actually moving now. I actually rewired my entire network setup. So now instead of cables running across the floors through the kitchen, down the stairs, and into the basement, they're now actually all behind the walls, which is nice. Now I just have cables dangling through the ceiling down to the floor and running along the floor down here. I've got raceways to put up after I finish actually painting because that should be purple back there. But the wife is happy now that there's not cables running across the floor. So there's that.
She's happy to get rid of the trip hazards.
Yes. Yeah. It's nice whenever you have contractors making the holes and you know they're going to patch the holes. So being able to just do that while the holes are there was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did get my wife got me a barbecue sauce making kit. Has a few different recipes and some spices to kind of start experimenting with that. So I'm excited to try that when it's not blistering cold and snowing. Try to make some more ribs. So that's probably the coolest gift I think I got this year. Was that.
Cool.
Yeah. And then my birthday's next week. My wife's birthday was this week. So more gifts around the whole time frame. Anyways, so on to Halo stuff that we did over the last 3 weeks. GT, it sounds like you were actually pretty fruitful in your Halo endeavors for the past few weeks. What were you up to, Halo-wise?
Well, for New Year's Eve, I pulled the Discord, and most people were busy, so I decided to just hold my own little achievement hunting night. So I fired up 2 Xboxes and 8 controllers and went into matchmaking.
So you had a solo achievement hunting night. That's awesome. That's great.
Actually, it wound up not being solo. After probably 30, 45 minutes ish. I was in team objective because I was trying to get a 1 flag match to no success. And randomly, I got 2 single players.
Wait. Oh, because objective's 5v5.
Right. So, randomly I get these 2 players, and one of them didn't have the map pack installed that I needed, so I stopped getting any DLC maps.
Oh, no.
So the other one actually messaged me and said, hey, you achievement hunting? Because he noticed that there were 8 Godzillas in his match.
Suspicious.
Suspicious. Anyway, so invited him to a party, and we got to chatting, and he'd been watching, I can't think looking for groups. And he found somebody that was looking to do some achievement hunting. So we got him in there, and we started looking for matches. And it turns out that the person that we got from the looking for group needed some achievements from the Noble Pack. So I wasn't having any luck getting the maps I wanted. So we went ahead and we started looking for the Noble Pack. And we got his achievements along with some other people. Wound up having about 6 people in the lobby.
Wow. That's a good crowd of people.
6 or 7. Let's see here. I told him I'd give him a shout out. So
do it.
I had Billy Badblood, Chaos Inferno, Kiblets, Meek, Neutral Panda, Nuclear Dentist, and Sailor Moon, all helping me out getting achievements. We kind of started helping out each other.
Yeah. Those are some solid gamer tags.
Yeah.
Like you get some odd ones, but yeah, those are some solid gamer tags.
But yeah, we had a lot of fun. We actually I killed the stream at about 11 o'clock because I was starting to get a little punchy. But we actually wound up playing until midnight.
Wow.
Very nice.
It's not like I had to go to work. It's not like I had to go to work Saturday. So
right. New Year's. Everyone's off. That's awesome. So did you get all your achievements?
I got all my reach achievements finished. The funny thing is after we worked on the other achievements for a while, like the 3rd or 4th match that we started on the Defiant maps, we got my 1 flag.
Good.
Finally.
Good.
And that is one of those achievements. You have to be on Condemned, and it has to be 1 flag.
1 flag. Yeah. That's honestly, through all of Reach, that's probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest achievement to get because of the randomness of matchmaking.
Well, you need 1 map and 1 game type to line up out of all the different options.
Possibilities. Yep.
Literally, even back when I was playing Reach, I never got that game.
That combo.
Yeah. I mean, I'd get Condemned, I'd get 2 flag, or I'd get Oddball, or Territories, whatever. But I would never get 1 flag.
Yep, and it's that one specific map, one specific game mode, and it just you have to wait until you get it. You just have to grind out until you get it. Sucks, but I'm happy you got it. That's got to be a huge sigh of relief when you actually got it.
So I am 100% done with all the shooty Halo games.
Yay!
Tag Goose Checker when it comes to achievements.
Very nice.
I still have Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike, and Halo Wars Definitive Edition, and Halo Wars 2 to finish. Oh, and I have 1 achievement in Halo 5. I have to kill 2 wardens at the same time. And I have no idea how I don't have that one, because I practiced my achieving Halo run on my main account, and we killed 2 wardens at the same time, but I didn't get the achievement.
That one's not too hard to stage, thankfully.
No, it's not. It's just, really?
It took me 7 Skyjacks to get that achievement to pop in Halo Infinite. And 3 of them were in the same
You
game,
mean the Grapple Jack?
The Skyjack, Grapple Jack, or whatever it was, where you gotta
Oh,
Hook onto
Well,
a
then I-
banshee
then
or
I-
whatever.
then I won't tell you I got it on my first try.
Yeah. That's Halo achievements for you. I swear.
I'm
I think it's achievements in general.
I'm 2 achievements away on campaign. I have Lazo, which I need to start before they patch out the
cannon.
the cannon.
Yeah.
Actually, Dust, the neat thing is you get the bandana skull too. So you can
That's true.
you just chuck grenades.
That's true.
The shot grenades, just hang back and
Yep. Well, and I tested some of the speedrunning techniques, which I'll get to. I guess I can talk about them now. We'll just skip around. There's a couple of speedrunning techniques. One of them is obviously getting the tank cannon weapon. But basically, the hardest part about Lazo is getting through the first 2 missions, and then it's a breeze, pretty
Yep.
much. But you get the tank cannon for one. The next one is getting a pelican. You can actually drive a pelican. What you have to do is get on. So like call in a vehicle, so you can get
At a fob.
Fernando to come. Yeah, at a fob. Get Fernando to come down. Or Echo 216. Come down and you grapple to the top of the little radio dish to get you up on top of the pelican. You get over to where the pilot seat is. You hold X to get in. It doesn't prompt you, but you can hold X to get in. And then you have to make sure you get a checkpoint, then save and quit, then come back in. That pelican will be there.
Actually, I didn't even wait for a checkpoint. I just jumped in and saved and quit, and it was there when I got back.
Okay.
So that may or may not work.
Yeah, the guy I saw said wait for a checkpoint. And you usually get a checkpoint pretty soon after the vehicle drops anyways. But
Infinite
wait for the
is very generous with checkpoints as long as you have shields.
It can be. There a few of my legendary runs that I did pre-release, like during the press window, I did not give saves in critical parts where it's like, okay, I have shields, I'm protected for a good 20 seconds, I'm hiding from the boss, and I'm not getting checkpoints. So,
Well, there are spots
it's
where
finicky.
they limit the checkpoints, but like in the open world, it seems like about every 30 seconds, saving checkpoint. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've
Anyway,
gone
so
4 feet.
Yeah. So you get the pelican, save, quit, pelican's there, so you can fly that around. You go over to you finish mission 3, which is killing the elite. Blinking on his name for a
Shacklock?
moment. Yeah, Shacklock. And again, you just take the tank cannon in there and you blow everything up. 1-hit kill, or a couple hit kills. It's 1-hit kill on easy or normal, but I think on legendary it's maybe 3 or 4. You do that, you go over to the mining site, and you parked the. So I actually got the fob that's closest there. I parked the pelican halfway in between so it wouldn't despawn, and then you have to jump off into the laser. At the same time you jump off, you go into your TAC map. You fast travel to a fob. And by the time you actually get to that point where you're pressing fast travel, you're in the laser and you're invulnerable. So you fast travel out, and then at that point you are invulnerable. So you go back to
Until you load into a mission.
until you load into a mission, yes. But you go back to the pelican. You take and the pelican's really just for a speed save, really. But you can take the pelican or you can walk. But I take the pelican. There is a gap towards the south side of that first island where you find the blind skull. There's a gap in the soft kill barrier to get to the other island. So normally there's a barrier there that prevents you from kind of skipping on, but there's actually a hole in that barrier. There's a specific spot, and there's YouTube videos that cover this. You go through that spot, and because you're invulnerable, the kill countdown does not go off. So you can fly all the way to the second to last mission, the tower with Esherim in it.
Wow.
Yeah, without doing any of the other missions. It does not soft lock it or anything. Once you hit that island, the time of day changes, and it's basically like you got out at the beginning of that island. You can just fly over everything. You don't have to shoot anything. The bridge is just actually out there, so you don't even have to activate the bridge. You just park the Pelican on the bridge, walk into the door, and you're in that mission.
Wow.
So you are skipping 2/3 of the game.
And you still get credit for the lasso run?
Yes.
Thought I heard people say that the achievement completion achievements weren't popping because of that.
I mean, I haven't tried it personally.
Lasso might be different too, so I mean, obviously you're not finishing each individual mission because you're skipping over so many of them, but if you've already complete the game, then I believe that does count for Lazo.
That's all I need.
Yeah, I need Lazo.
So play 4 missions and beat the game.
Technically 5, because you still have to defeat Chaklock. So technically 5 missions to beat the game. Because the first mission, first mission is on the bandit ship.
Those first 2 missions tend to kind of
blend together. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, basically 5 missions instead of the 10 or 12, 16. It's numbered up to 16 in the game files, so it's somewhere in between 12 and 16. So yeah, there's plenty of guides out there, but Lazo is not nearly as hard as it is in MCC, and I still have to do MCC Lazo, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Oh, this is definitely the easiest Lazo of all of them, even if you do it honestly.
Yeah.
And really do the whole game Lazo.
Yeah, it's actually not too bad, especially with the tank cannon. So yeah, there's that. I'm going to try it here pretty soon.
With the tank cannon, jump or aim up.
Yes.
Because they travel down severely.
Yeah, because it basically is taking the view. If you because you're normally in a tank, your reticle is technically above the tank, so it's firing from underneath. It has that same trajectory. So jump, fire, and aim where you want it to go. Thankfully, you don't take splash damage if you shoot it close. So don't worry about killing yourself with that tank cannon. You can't unless you point it at a fusion coil that you're standing right by and blow yourself up. Anyways, you had to run Lazo twice to get the achievement. Ouch. That sucks, Bobby. So there's that achievement, and then I still don't have the achievement where you kill a grunt that's been punted by a brute.
I have seen that once.
Yeah, I saw it once, and had I known that I was supposed to shoot it. I didn't even realize it until I started looking through the achievements that there was an achievement to shoot the grunt.
Uh-huh.
You know, I just see this random grunt go boo across the screen as I'm rolling up to was it the House of Reckoning?
Okay.
That first gate you have to open.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I see this grunt go flying across the screen. I'm like, did that bird just throw the grunt?
Yep.
I had completely forgot that was even a thing until I saw it the one time in the campaign.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's something I'm kind of disappointed in, because I thought that was going to be a thing.
I mean, it still happens, just not nearly as much.
Well, I thought it was going to be a suicide run replacement. You know, they throw a grunt at you instead of, mass grunts, plasma ball thing.
I'm guessing that it probably is still. I mean,
well, no, because I've seen hundreds of suicide grunts, and I've seen them throw a grunt once.
I don't. Yeah.
I just don't know what the ratio to.
Right.
How you get them to do that.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. But yeah, those are the only 2 campaign achievements I don't have. And I'll be honest, I haven't really played a lot of the multiplayer since it came out. Like I'm not that motivated to play it right now, and with all the customizations in MCC still, I'm trying to go for those. So I have a little
honestly,
bit more.
I haven't touched multiplayer. I think, other than Fraggin' Friday, I haven't touched multiplayer since campaign launch.
I mean, I'll play it with friends. Like if people ask me to play, I'll happily play it. But Halo Infinite is kind of is going back to the Halo 2, Halo 3 days where you're only playing really to play with friends or just to play the game, and like the customization stuff. Like I'm not I'm not inclined to play multiplayer on my own. I'll play if I'm playing with other people, but I don't have a lot of inclination to play on my own right now.
Yeah, I never play Halo for the customization. I play Halo first for the story, hence the reason I'm still stuck in campaign, because I'm still going around, and I've played the campaign multiple times now because I love the cutscenes. They're great. It's good to have. It's really nice to have a really good story to just dig into.
It really is, and it's.
I mean, after Halo 5,
right. And there's so many little cool Easter egg things, and I'm wondering how many hidden dialogue things are in the game as well.
Oh yeah, I just finished my skull hunting, so now I have the "I would have been your daddy" skull on. It gets good.
So I plan on making a video soon, but I've extracted all the audio files from the game. It actually wasn't that hard, but I want to make a montage of all the Grunt Tower clips, and it's about 55 minutes long, and I think about 250 plus different lines that Grunt says on the tower.
You should make a YouTube playlist called Zeta Halo Radio and just do each individual one.
Each individual one? Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was just going to do a whole thing where it's like, okay, I actually went through on easy, and I went through everything without touching any of the towers, without any of the unlockables, and I did the whole Pelican and cut through just to finish it super quick. So I'm going to get a little video of each one of the towers and then put that as like a background video for this hour-long's worth of just Grunt Tower audio.
Did you realize that there's 3.5 hours of cutscenes in that game?
Is it really that
much?
Yeah.
Wow.
Of hologram cutscenes or cutscenes?
For all the cutscenes. Every single time when you actually lose control of your character.
3.5 hours. Wow.
So, every time you stick the weapon into a console, the cutscenes between, like when bosses walk in, all of it.
Doesn't surprise me. I mean,
no wonder I wasn't able to finish the first playthrough in under 6 hours.
Under 8 hours.
Or 8 hours. Shit.
Yeah.
3.5 of it was just watching video.
Yep.
Well, the nice thing about the 8-hour thing too is if you die, it kind of rewinds that time. So it's your cumulative time, your cumulative alive time under 8 hours.
Yeah, the last time I played through,
nice.
the last time I played through it, I got it when I was out skull hunting. I
got
literally went and found all the skulls and completed it in under 8 hours.
Nice. Yeah, I got mine first go because I had played the game before release, so I'd seen all the cutscenes. So at that point, I was literally just going for achievements. But it's crazy how much content there is in this game. Like, I'm not mad that it took 6 years. And I know part of that was probably some of the multiplayer development, but with how much content there is in the campaign and how huge the environment is,
oh yeah,
I'm okay with it being 6 years.
I'm okay with the time frame for the campaign. Multiplayer, on the other hand,
yeah.
Can I just say I'm a little disappointed with the campaign? Like, the further I get removed from it, I just expected more. Like, the way they were touting the openness of the campaign, not saying it wasn't open, but they were like, look at the ring, look over there, you can go there. And then as you kind of get around, there's tons to explore. And I'm not saying there isn't. I just thought we were going to have like a full Halo ring exploration experience.
Oh, I never thought that.
Yeah.
That'd be very, very, very ambitious.
I understand, but they took a long time to get this game out.
I mean, I can understand where you would get the idea, especially with the way they explained the Halo Ring world. The one thing I'd have to say is we're not done with campaign yet.
We aren't, and I fully acknowledge that.
we kind of got to see what the expansions do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have no idea how many expansions they have planned.
Or when they're coming.
Exactly.
Please,
I would imagine.
Please, no more than 2 years before a campaign expansion. Please.
I was gonna say probably about every 2 years.
Oof.
18 months to 2 years.
Well, I mean, think about how long it takes to develop the story, record the lines, make all the environment. Like it's. I mean, while the engine's there and the foundation's there, it's still going to take some time to put that whole story together. That's just game development, folks. Yeah,
well,
it sucks that.
It took. How long did it? Halo Wars, not the Flood expansion.
Oh, the
That
little
was-
2 mission ODST one.
How's
No, the
a
one
year,
where
maybe?
No, the big expansion. Where
That was the Flood one.
the Flood one was bigger than 2 missions.
Awakening.
The Awakening.
Yeah, Awakening
yes.
Nightmare. Yeah, that was the big Flood one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was more than 2 missions.
No, that was 5.
But that was what, a year and a half after the game launched?
About, yeah.
And that's actually kind of, that was like, what, 5 missions, right?
5 missions, yep.
Yeah. That's only 5 missions. So if we're talking about a full campaign expansion, I don't know what they're going to deem a campaign expansion, if it's going to be 5 missions or it's going to be 12 missions. So
This is brand new territory for Halo, really. I mean, the only
Mhm.
thing that we have that was close was Halo 3 ODST, which was meant to be an expansion.
well, it was meant to be an expansion, but it turned out being a full game.
Right.
I don't think they're going to take it that far. I'm thinking more like Spartan Ops seasons 1 and 2 size.
I could see them going either way, or a completely new way, possibly. There's, I mean, this is new territory for Halo
Oh yeah, I mean,
on the first-person shooter.
we have no idea where they're going with that. At least nothing that anybody will admit to. From 343, that is.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they progress forward with the campaign and the story DLC-wise. Sky's the limit, and the possibilities, dare I say, are infinite.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to be on the bingo card pins. If you're listening to this after, since you're not in the stream, that needs to be on the bingo card. Making the infinite joke.
I mean, overall, I'm very happy with the campaign. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Campaign's good. I feel like
I'm not really digging the collectibles as much as I used to, because the world is so damn big.
well,
I
there's
mean,
not.
it's bad when you look for a way to get a flying vehicle just so you can get around.
Get your first Jack on the Banshee. Ooh, I can go places now. And to your point, Haas, I get we're trying to get through a whole Halo or access to it makes sense, but I guess for what I was expecting, it was just kind of one of those things of there's not a lot of time to do that.
I think I'd feel better if there was more variety in their environments in the game.
I can agree to that.
Because like even the missions that you load into, they all looked so similar to one another. Like there was not a huge variety even in those environments. And I just, for me, it kind of took me back to that original feeling a lot of people had for Destiny is, oh, we're just going backwards here. And it was not 1-to-1 there, but
Well, I mean, Halo CE did it.
right. But that was also 20 years ago. And we've had what, 5 or 6 titles where we really haven't had to do that again. And so like,
in the way we've been spoiled.
I think I would feel like the world would feel bigger to me if there wasn't so much similarity throughout the campaign and throughout the open worldness. Like there were pockets of difference. Like there's like a swamp or whatever that looks like it was like all muddy or whatever. That was really cool. That's like cool pocket. But overall, I just kind of I don't know. Like
I get what
had
you're
fun
saying.
exploring.
I get what you're saying. I kind of agree to a point where I feel like they could have varied up some of the landscape on the play space that we could access. And I mean, maybe that's just part of where they plan to expand for a future DLC. Maybe we will get some of that snowy parts that we saw in like Halo CE, and maybe a little bit more of the swamp, like true swamp that we saw on the 343 Guilty Spark mission. So there's still lots of possibilities to where we'll see where that happens. But I think the saving grace was just the storyline for the most part, and seeing how Halo looks on the brand new engine with modern graphics. And for me, like, the view's just breathtaking. Even though it is repetitive in some cases, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks really good. I really like the aesthetic. The one thing in the previous games, we were traveling to different locations. Even in Halo CE, we were traveling to different points on the ring. We weren't located in one specific area.
I think that's why it feels smaller to me.
Yeah, in Infinite, they have us contained to just that one area. So I can understand not having multiple types of terrain as far as swamps and snowy areas and grasslands and deserts. But the other side of that is that they could have moved the campaign around the ring more.
Yeah.
And been able to do that. But since we're confined to just this one area right here at the edge of the Halo where it's broken.
Yeah. And it's I can see where it feels like a much smaller play space. I can see that.
Until you try to walk all of it, then it's not so small.
It's if you walk from the control spire all the way up to Outpost Terminus, it's a long way. I think it's like
that brought back memories of
10,000 kilometers.
Completing the mission Halo on foot.
Right.
Unlocking the Wasp, it was a huge moment for me.
I have yet to unlock the Wasp.
There's this. I don't remember what the unlock order is, but there's certain milestones to unlock certain things.
Yeah.
I don't know which one the Wasp one.
Well, I've been focusing mostly my playtime in actual campaign, not exploring the world.
Right.
Other than
Campaign
the skull
missions.
hunting, because I also want to get Lasso done before they fix the bug.
Yep. Do it soon. We don't know if they're patching it or not. I will probably stream my laser run whenever I decide to actually do it, which might be in a couple weeks. I do plan on doing another achievement hunting stream on Sunday for 360 achievements for whoever else wants to try to get some of those last bits before it goes off next week. But other than that,
maybe we ought to run that down again just for old time's sake. Which games are going and which games are staying. Yes.
So the games that you absolutely need to get your multiplayer achievements for are Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST for, well, you don't technically, I mean, if you have enough people to do it locally, you can still get your ODST achievements. But for sure, Halo 3, anything that's matchmaking related, Halo 4, anything that's matchmaking related, and Halo Reach, anything matchmaking related. Everything else that is campaign related, or you don't need to actually rely on matchmaking servers to do, you can still do. So anything that is system link accessible, multiplayer or campaign, even including Spartan Ops and Halo 4, all that still works. Multiplayer for Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike, and Halo Wars, like the 360 Halo Wars, will still be functional as well. So those are the clarifying moments. Oh, I guess we should include this too, even though these are somewhat technically broken if you haven't gotten them already. Halo 2 Vista multiplayer achievements also have to be completed by the 13th next week as well.
If you can get it to launch.
Right.
Last time I tried it, I could not get it to launch.
Same.
I mean, at this point, I still have a copy of Halo 2 Vista, but at this point, with the modding tools now available for MCC, just waiting for the mod teams to bring those maps over into MCC and just write it out on MCC now.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
Well, I mean, there's also Project, what was that?
Cartographer.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Which,
that is fantastic.
I tell you what, if you guys really like Halo 2 on PC, I highly recommend you go download that game. They do a wonderful job. They do a wonderful job.
It's as close to the OG Halo 2 experience, because Halo 2 Vista was similar, but there were some pretty key differences.
Mm-hmm.
Project Cartographer team have that game dialed to feel like an HD version of Halo 2 with no concessions made.
They've patched a few things. They've gotten multiplayer to actually work again.
They're adding a ranking system right now. Like,
really?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to download the updates. I actually haven't fired it up in a while.
I mean, is the population on that still pretty significant enough?
Pretty good enough. I mean, it would float around like 250 to 750 most.
That's not bad.
Most days. I mean, for a fan project and a fan community like that,
I think
that's
Halo
pretty
CE
good.
or Halo PC, I'll specify. I think, or at least last time I checked, these numbers could be different now, but last time I checked, they were still rocking like 1,200 on playing, and then Custom Edition was also rocking an additional 200 to 300 people on Custom Edition specifically. So there's an audience for it, at least.
Absolutely.
But it's one of those things that if people are still going for it, then Project Cartographer is definitely something to check out. We've never actually had them on the show before. I should reach out to them for an interview.
That would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Since we're a Halo podcast and everything.
I mean, it only makes sense, right? And welcome, Pens. We talked about you a few times where you might want to check the podcast release once it's out. Anyways, so that is, I think, most of our Halo escapades. Did we go over your Halo activities over the holidays? I don't think we have yet, Haas.
Mine was pretty mild. It was the first time I wasn't able to complete all the weekly challenges because the cloud gaming was just not happening. You can check my Twitter timeline to see what I was dealing with. It was rough, but
was it a lifetime
were you having
of
a tough time
frustration?
connecting to your Xbox from Hawaii?
I tried cloud. I tried direct to my Xbox, and also the internet speeds there were like sub 5.
Yeah,
and that just doesn't play well with the cloud. So I couldn't get it done. But I did try and get some in there, and it's fine. I didn't get to play as much as I have been. I mean, that was the first time I haven't done all the weeklies and all that, so it kind of stinks. But I've made up for it already for this week. I'm already done with this week's, and
jeez,
I just haven't. I have fun on multiplayer, but I'm kind of getting to that point where I get my challenges done. I check out the store. I get my chores done, and then I get to enjoy my time wherever I so choose. And it's kind of it sucked because I want to play big team battle with some of my less competitive friends, and that's just not happening right now. Especially once you get a bigger lobby, like you're lucky to get 2 matches in a row.
2.
Yeah, it kind of sucks right now, and I'm hoping because they were working on that before they took break, so I'm hoping the fix for that is near. But
yeah, I'm like hoping tonight.
Yeah, like like let that be the announcement they make during the podcast. Because
if not, we're probably going to be playing something else tomorrow.
I know myself well enough that I'm too competitive. That like I'm not fun to play with my less competitive friends in ranked. That's what I enjoy playing the most. But if I have a good crew of like personalities and all that, I can play big team and have a blast. But right now I can't do that, so I feel pretty restricted to what I have to play, and it's not as great right now. But
well, if I'm available, you are welcome to ask me to play ranked. I don't know if I'm your level, but I can at least manage the.
He can at least be bait.
I wouldn't be as good as bait as GT, but at least I can give it a go and listen to instructions to try to not get killed as much. I guess
it is. Let me give you one tip. If you're going to be bait, the one thing that you have to do is just stick your head out.
Yep. Hi. Everybody. Oh,
that's all you need to do.
Just need to make them waste their shots. Pretty much. No, I'm a lot stronger competitive or objective player competitively than I am a Slayer. I can rock objective. That's usually my strong suit with focusing on the objective, doing the vehicle runs. I can do those. When it comes to slaying, that's just not my strong suit. Unless I'm on fire, in which case I'm either hot or I'm not. Most of the time I'm not, but sometimes I'm hot. When I'm hot, I can go crazy.
I'm usually hot for the first game of the night, then after that it's downhill. The rest of the night.
I actually have a friend who's tried to get me ranked in Halo Infinite. Haven't gotten there yet. I've played 5 ranked games in Team Arena Objective, I guess. So I'll get ranked.
Although I have found a good way to get better with the sniper. Go into campaign, turn on the bandana skull, and at that first fob you capture, there's a sniper underneath. Just play the campaign with just the sniper.
That's not bad.
You get really good at no scoping.
That's not bad, especially when you have a 4K or a 2K monitor too, and you get that nice crisp detail.
Yeah,
the game
1080p.
Game is so pretty.
Use the Academy.
I mean,
yeah, campaign's more fun though.
Academy is just same thing back and forth, and no, G-Lewis, I'm not always hot on shots. You are better than me. Haas is better than me. Bobby's better than me. I may have a leg up on Pins and GT, and that's about it. I don't even think I have a leg up on Mending. Mending's probably better than me. So, anyways, a couple of news things that we have. Probably not news to most people, but since it's been a while since we've talked about things, Fractures is back. Fractures Tenrai is back in action for week 2. We had our week 1 preview before the official release of Halo Infinite. So week 2 is out and about. They've retooled some of the unlock mechanisms. Apparently it's easier to get
through. They've removed a bunch of the boosts and the challenge swaps, and you actually get cosmetic items.
Now I can't get through my battle pass anymore.
Oh no.
I'm just kidding. I'm already done with it. But
okay. I heard they made some updates for that to be easier too. Like you get a lot more of the play 1 games to earn more XP on a more consistent basis now.
They went from one of the most punishing battle pass progressions to probably the most kid glove battle pass I've ever played in my life. Like, they went way too far. Like,
yeah, I will agree with that. And like, I am a casual player.
Like,
I think I'm still level 0.
800 XP for your first match. You pop that double XP, you're getting a level and a half just on that first. Yeah, you just pop that double XP, and then any challenges you get, if you pop it on Tuesday when all the new challenges are rolling, plus your matches, you're gonna just fly through the levels.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I think I'm still level 0 in the battle pass. Because I don't think I've played it.
How could you be levels?
I haven't played it since the game officially launched and all the new updates. Like it was back in that time where you basically got
Because
no
you
experience.
were playing it when it was the beta, right?
Yes, when it was the
Well,
beta.
that progress carried over.
No,
They didn't
I know
reset
it
the
did.
progress.
I know it did. I never got to level 1. I don't think I ever got to level 1.
How many games did you play? Like 4?
8 or 9?
2.5?
8 or 9, I think. I may have gotten 1 daily, if that.
Hell, I made level 1 the first Friday night we played it.
I didn't get to level 1.
Wow.
I'm either
feel so bad.
I'm either
'Cause
close.
I'm at like 24, and I thought, damn, I'm way far behind.
Mending said I farted and got level 1.
This is what we expect from our Forerunners. They're not even level 1s in the battle pass.
Really?
Come on,
I guess they got
343.
too burned out testing the game.
I've just been enjoying the campaign way too much, honestly. And part of it's been obviously busy. Like went to London for 10 days and then had other stuff happening. So as far as having time to play or being able to play with folks, that just really hasn't been much of an option for me to hop into multiplayer. So I haven't had a lot of opportunities to play outside that. Other than the first night that we played it together, GT, the only other time I played it was with Jack to do some ranked, and that's it. I think I've played literally less than 10 multiplayer games after release of Halo Infinite. I just...
Yes, campaign's been taking up all my time lately.
Anyways. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how fast I can progress with the Battle Pass. I'm either... how many XP is it between it? Is it 1,000 XP between levels? Something like that?
1,000.
I'm either within 200 XP of level 1, or I just tipped over level 1 at some point.
Play one game, Dust, and then you're
I'm
almost
set.
a level 2.
Then I'm set. I might just go from level 0 to level 2. Yeah, so that's where I'm at on my multiplayer journey. And honestly, I still find MCC more fun than Halo Infinite. I just the aiming mechanic and the movement I just haven't gotten used to yet.
Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer.
Even with my time playing as a Forerunner, yeah, it just is so different than Halo 5 and MCC.
I will not argue that, but the difference, to me, the difference is no different than going from Halo 4 to Halo 5.
It feels more than that to me. And it's different for every person.
I mean, yes, it feels different, but to me, it's no more different than going from 4 to 5.
I mean, that may be it.
Probably less so, because from 4 to 5, they introduced the advanced mobility. So that was a pretty big jump there. I will say that I did have to spend 3 or 4 nights tweaking on my settings, and I still am doing some tweaking to them to really find the balance. So the settings are the way the settings affect the player are a lot different than they were in previous games, and they're taking me a little bit more time to tune.
Same for me. And that's another deterring factor for me, is just not having that quite as much fun, because I'm still trying to figure that out, and I just need to play it to figure it out. So that's
Same here.
That's my fault for not really hopping on that. But yeah, so I'm still either level 0 or at the very early stages level 1 in multiplayer Battle Pass.
Gee, Lewis, it feels nothing like Halo 3.
I've heard people say that, though. I've seen other people say that.
No, because I can actually hit in Infinite.
I've got that on my bingo card. Thank you. That's my first and only thing that I've unlocked on my bingo card, is someone uses a swear word. I got the
free space.
Well, other than the free space, I got someone uses a swear word.
Yeah, I've got a pretty bad bingo card tonight.
Oh, sorry, no, I don't have. Someone uses. I have me. So no, that doesn't actually get me a bingo card. I have Dust swears.
Well, I'm definitely not you, so
no. I still don't have anything other than the free space. Dang it. Your bingo card's rigged, Pens. So Fractures Tenrai is back up and available for those that are wanting to unlock some stuff on that. There are 30
go grind
tiers.
it out.
Yep, 30 tiers to grind if you so choose. We also had the first Halo Infinite LAN event, which was actually pretty cool. The Big Team Battle Bonanza was epic. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Bonanza!
Big Team Battle Bonanza! And Golden...
They actually got it to work?
Right.
Only on LAN.
Yeah, because they have that LAN feature. But Golden Boy held his title for Big Team Battle Bonanza champ. Got to see a few familiar faces on there, including Lady Echidna, Real Life Spartan, Uber Nick, Oath. There, Puckett was there. There were a lot of familiar faces. It was a lot of fun to watch the Big Team Battle Bonanza. Honestly, I had more enjoyment watching that than some of the other competitive Halo content that weekend.
I completely checked out when the BTB Bonanza started.
Oh, that I tuned in for that. Like, that was the thing I wanted to check out. Because it's just so wacky and fun. Like, and it's obviously different entertainment for different people, but it was just awesome. Not that the other content was not great or anything, but I was also solo modding probably 80% of the Twitch chat throughout the whole weekend, which was not fun.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
That was not fun.
That sounds like something I would want to do. Not.
Had some help on Sundays, but Friday night and Saturday, like, I was solo modding the Twitch chat, and it's like,
I'm not gonna lie. On Friday, the Twitch chats 3v4 studios had me kind of laughing with all the disconnects that they were having. I mean, like, the issues weren't funny, but the chat finding a way to just kind of play on the 343 with 3v4 studios because of all the disconnects.
3v4. That's funny. I missed that. I missed that part, but yeah. You want to give us?
Imagine that.
You want to give us a rundown of the competitive side of things, Haas, and how Sentinels actually did not come out on top?
Well, they were without Royal 2.
They were.
Or Router 2, as he is calling himself online right now.
That's funny.
So they were without him, but even with him, I still don't think they're one of the strongest teams right now. Definitely the strongest teams right now consistently seem to be Optic, United, and Cloud9 especially. Right now there's an online cup going right now, and it's actually down to FaZe, Cloud9, and United. But in the finals, United ended up losing to Cloud9, so Cloud9 was the first Halo Infinite LAN tournament champions, I guess is what you would call them.
And except for Cloud9 matches, wasn't every other bracket winners bracket match, or no, the whole like actual set bracket, like 5 games pretty much for most of them, if not all of them.
There were a ton of resets, and
that was
game 5s, and it was really exciting to watch. There were some.
It was good to see so many game 5s
all weekend. Like, honestly, if you just YouTube like HCS Raleigh highlights, there are some just insane moments that happened throughout the weekend. I don't think I've watched that much competitive Halo since I was at, what was that, 2018 or 2017 Halo 5 Worlds in Seattle.
I think that was 18?
Or Halo 3 MLG. Like, digitally, Halo 3 was the last time I watched this much. But overall, I still think I watched more tournament gameplay this weekend, or that weekend, than I did even when I was there in person at Worlds for Seattle. So it was really exciting to watch. People using the sandbox that is given to them. Obviously, there's feedback and all that, the weapon tuning and all that, but just seeing people use these weapons, and then you get online and people all trying to replicate that kind of stuff. It was pretty cool. It's like, you see a dunk for the first time and then you think you can dunk.
Right.
You can't. But it was really exciting. Cloud9 definitely is probably the hottest team. I mean, they're pretty much spliced without Shotzi. So they're a hot roster to look out for, and we'll see what happens at Anaheim, if Anaheim even happens. But we'll see.
It was so cool to watch. And what I don't know if it's just because the game is so new, why as far as it being game fives, or maybe the game is just that balanced from a multiplayer perspective that it now warrants enough of dynamics to have those game five moments. But just to see how much there was that back and forth, and you had these, okay, one team is 2-0 in the series and now they're up to 2-2 and they come back and they win 3-2, and it's like so many comebacks and so many nail biters, especially in the winners bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Even the losers bracket had a few of those nail biters too.
Oh yeah,
like I hadn't seen competitive Halo like that since maybe
I would say Halo
Reach?
2 Anniversary. I would say Halo 2 Anniversary had a lot of that when you had the then Cloud9.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There were a lot of moments like that. But
Halo 2 Anniversary though didn't survive that long as far as competitive though.
No,
right?
I'm yeah. There were moments, but
yeah, like there weren't a lot of those moments in Halo 5 competitive. I feel like every once in a while, but not nearly as.
Halo 5 was just dominated so much by one team. It's hard to look back and truly reflect on like there really being true competition in the end. I think the only one I can think of, I don't even remember what team it was, but I know Nated was on that team, and everybody thought this was the moment Nated was going to get his tournament win, and then they didn't because Sentinels, Talks, Optic, whatever they were at the time.
Yeah,
shut them down.
I think they were. Was that the first time they were Sentinels? I think that was 2016. No,
they weren't Talks until the very end. So
it would have been Optic. It would have been Optic then.
Yeah, they were probably Optic at that time.
Because that was in Burbank. That was ESL. Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah. Because I was there.
I don't know if that tournament that I'm referring to was that, because I think that was the MLG season that I'm referring to. But
oh, maybe okay. We could be thinking of different ones then.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I don't know. We don't need to reflect on those balloons ever again.
Anyways, but yeah, there's a lot of really cool moments that I'm sure you could find the VODs on if you're interested. Definitely some of the nail biter capture zones for strongholds, and I really like how it seems like the new strongholds and oddball really plays towards that kind of that back and forth. I felt like it had a little bit more of that dynamic of teams really having to get control, and I don't know, it it just feels like it's not as much of a runaway, and kind of maybe that's one of the reasons why we saw a lot more game fives, is because those game types now have a little bit more of a soft reset in the middle, so it kind of can mix things up a little bit. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
The extended time stuff. For oddball, I love it.
Like oddball and stronghold it almost seems like a no-brainer of like, yeah, this feels a lot better to watch and play the way they have it now.
I would love for one or two more modes to make their way into the HCS. Like if bomb comes, or assault bomb, whatever they want to call it, if that comes back, and King of the Hill, I know it's very similar to Strongholds, but I just think there's something special about it because of the Hill's movement, that you constantly have to play to the moving hill and timing of the power weapons and your moves for those hills. So I'm hoping we see a little bit more variety come down the line.
I hope so too.
I think the CTF, Strongholds, Oddball, and Slayer are pretty good. There does seem to be kind of like this movement in the competitive community that we don't need Slayer anymore.
Really?
I don't find Slayer that fun to watch anymore at this point. But I do think it should be either the deciding game. If it's a game 7, a game 3, or whatever it needs to be like, if there's going to be the ultimate deciding game, I definitely think Slayer
So
needs to remain.
would that kind of redefine then what because Slayer has always been that bread and butter for Halo. It's like, okay, you go into.
I think it's just boring to watch.
No, I get that, and I kind of thinking about it, I agree with it, but at the same point, competitive wise, that's always been kind of the breaker. So you have a Slayer, objective, Slayer, objective, Slayer for a 7-game series, and then 5-game series is Slayer, objective, Slayer, objective. As far as being able to kind of help break those,
it would definitely need to break the mold, and
but then
it'd be interesting to see how they do it. I think it should be game 357, or maybe cut one of those out. But it's hard to say. Maybe it's a flex game.
I mean,
each round?
Would you say that okay, the CTF become that there's 3 CTFs instead of Slayers, or 3 oddballs instead of Slayers, or do we just need a new game mode to kind of help?
A new mode would probably help. I mean,
Breakout.
Extraction could be an interesting one. Because there's been talk of that returning.
Halo 4 had a lot of interesting game modes that it'd be interesting to see.
I was a Ricochet fan. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoyed Ricochet.
Yeah, I did too.
I was blown away that has not returned, because I thought that was, for me, a million times better than Griffball. And maybe that's just the style of player I am. But yeah, Ricochet, Extraction, you got Assault, you got King of the Hill. Like, you got these modes in your back pocket that can all be competitive in their own way. And I would love to see them get worked in if Halo Infinite can work with them, because like Bomb didn't work very good in Halo 3. It just wasn't quite the same, but it worked pretty good in Halo 2 Anniversary, even with the changes. So who knows?
They could bring Bomb back easy.
They could. I would welcome it. That honestly, that one Bomb and Neutral Bomb is some of my favorite Halo I've ever played in my life.
Now, would you want to see game modes first, or would you like to see more maps first?
Well, I think we need maps. I think we need maps first, but just because maps that are going to support these other game modes, and you can add more variety of game modes later. I think maps are going to be the key, and then add some weapon sandbox tools in there for us too. They're obviously in the game. If you play the campaign, there are alternative versions of guns.
Yep.
Hopefully we see those at some point make their way into multiplayer. But
I would not be surprised if we get a Super Fiesta like thing in Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Yeah, I haven't quite seen any. Now, granted, I haven't played with all the alternate weapons, but I haven't seen anything that really trips my trigger.
Like the answer does.
It's not as dynamic as Halo 5's at all, but
yeah,
like the long range AR, there is a difference between that and the Breacher battle rifle and the battle rifle. There's a total difference, but
I'm not saying there's not a difference. It just
it's not the same as Halo 5 at all.
It's not the flair that Halo 5 had.
No, it's a little bit more tempered.
I mean, there's no weapon in there that you say, "Oh crap, he's got
the answer."
Yeah.
Or a sword.
Although I have been playing around with the sniper rifle, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Having 10 rounds in a sniper rifle is interesting.
That's pretty nice.
It's weaker, but it's cool. Yeah,
but you can pop off so many shots with it. And
Yep.
Yeah, it takes half a clip to take down an elite on easy.
It's a little bit different of a sniper rifle, but it's still a lot of fun to use.
But it fires faster than a DMR.
True. Very true. Hey, Chucky. It's been a while since we've seen you in here. Welcome to the stream. Happy New Year to you.
Oh no, it's Chucky!
Chucky J. I'll clarify. Let's see. Anything else to comment from the first HCS event?
Nothing for me.
Cool. I will say with the finals being in Seattle, they're in Seattle, right?
Yes, in October.
I do plan on trying to get to that. Hopefully the world by then is in a lot better place with the whole pandemic thing.
No.
I can be hopeful. Doesn't necessarily mean that's what will happen, but I can be hopeful. So current plans are that will be the event I try to get to this year in person.
Yeah, I think I do currently plan to fly back for that. We'll see what happens.
Maybe you and I can get a room together.
Very well could be open for that.
Maybe you just need to make it part of the contract of selling the house. You need the basement room in
I need at least once a year for a 4 or 5 day weekend. I will let you know 2 months in advance when I need it.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be interesting if that could even fly as part of the deed or something. Anyways, other news is there's not really a lot of news. 343's back from vacation. Microsoft takes a whole 2 weeks worth of vacation at the end of the year. So I actually responded back to a Reddit post today with someone complaining that, hey, how are these things not fixed? And just to give people a little bit of a background in how Microsoft Leave works and whatnot, in case people are out there listening to this that are kind of frustrated at the state of things, which you're right to be frustrated. But the last 2 weeks of the year, all of Microsoft, which 343 is a subsidiary of Microsoft, goes on leave, goes on break. So Halo Infinite comes out, they have the HCS event, and then they're gone. So all these things where people are coming up and it's like they should have fixed this by now is because they haven't been in the studio. Like all they've really done is probably had the chance to fix critical bugs, pull the people away from their time off. And those essential personnel, it's only a handful of people. So for those that are wanting things to be fixed, give it time.
They called in the firefighters.
Give it time. People have been away. It's a whole Microsoft thing. It's not exactly the best timing for a game release, and given how, and not just Halo's history, but just the gaming industry in general, how there's a whole bunch of day one bugs and issues, it's going to take them some time to get things up to snuff where people want them to be, and it's just something we got to give them some time and be a little patient with them now that they're back. So I don't know if you want to chime into that, Haas, given your background, but
nope, just gonna leave it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yep. So that'll be it for the podcast tonight. Not doing too much else. There's not really a lot of other news. We talked about the sunset of the 360 games, so make sure you get in for your achievements. If you're trying to go for those, we'll be hosting another achievement hunting night on 360 games on Sunday during Achieving Halo. If you need Halo 3, Halo 4, or Halo Reach achievements, that's the time to ask us to help out. We'll be hopping in with some of the Halo Completionists Discord folks looking for some of those achievements, trying to help them out. So again, if there's anything that you're looking for, please let us know. I might hop on an extra time or two next week too to work on some of those if people need some help. But you have until the 13th, which is, as of when we're recording this, a week from today, which is also my birthday. Great birthday present, Halo. Anyways, we also have a couple of announcements. We actually have the opportunity to give away a Halo Infinite Xbox Series X.
Woo!
Yeah.
Someone's been holding out on us.
Yeah. It's been holding on to that for a month, waiting for people to see if there's any takers before I decide to give it away. But managed to get hands on another Xbox, so we're going to be giving that away. In order to win the Xbox, what I'm going to do is have people send in, I'll make this announcement on social media and whatnot, but you'll basically reply to the Facebook post or the Instagram post and Twitter post, or even our Discord. I'll set them up in all places, but basically telling us what your favorite part of Infinite has been so far playing the game, And we'll put all those together. We'll randomly draw one and select it, and then we will announce that Xbox giveaway towards the end of the month. So it'll be running for about 2 or 3 weeks, give people enough time to hear about it. I know people have been clamoring to try to get a Halo Infinite Xbox, so give it plenty of time for people to get their say in. You will technically get multiple opportunities per platform by responding to the Facebook post separately and Twitter and whatnot. So if you want the max possibilities of getting in, then that's one way to do it. But pretty much all four social platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord, responding to the post when we actually make the post will constitute one entry into the giveaway. So we have that announcement. We also want to start getting submissions for our next lineup of shows. We're going to be taking a page out of the old Podtacular book and going through each mission and each multiplayer map and mode. So what we'll need from people starting for our next podcast is things that you like about the first mission, any little tips or tricks that you find, interesting bits about the first mission in particular that you like. Again, the mission is from when you board the banished ship to when you hop on the Pelican at the end where you're looking at the Halo. So that is mission 1. So taking input from that, and then for multiplayer map, let's not do a BTB one since BTB is kind of broken at the moment. So let's focus on recharge. So for people that have any tips or tricks from recharge, the multiplayer map, send those in as well. You can do that by sending us mentioning us on social media, dropping it in Discord, or sending an email to submissions@podtacular.com, and we'll be reading all those off on the show. We'll also be providing our input into that as well, as far as our experience with it. So kind of taking a page out of that. And then also Tales from the Foxhole, if you got any other just miscellaneous cool Halo clips or moments that you want to share with us, please do so. Share with us on social media, share with us in the Discord. We are going to be diving into those pretty much every week. And then we'll be breaking up the podcast into chunks. So we'll have one recording session on Thursdays. So if you want to see the whole thing, come to Twitch on Thursdays at 8:30, which is when we record our podcast. We're recording each one of those segments. We'll have a news segment if there is news for that week. Then we will have a campaign segment, and then we will have a multiplayer segment. And we'll break those up into separate releases throughout the week until we run out of campaign missions and multiplayer maps. And then we'll scatter little interviews and guest appearances in there as we get those scheduled and lined up. If you got any recommendations for us that you want to see guests on the show for, please also let us know on social media as well who you would like to see on the show, and we can work on getting those lined up for you as well. I think I've touted the socials enough. If you want to check out the podcast, you can do so on our website, podtacular.com. And we're also on all the different podcasting services that you can find. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Stitcher. If there is a place that we're not, please let us know, and we will work to get ourselves on those podcasting services as soon as we can. We're also on Facebook podcasts too, because that's a thing. If you want to check out the live streams, in addition to our recordings on Thursday night, we have our Frackin' Fridays, hosted by Godzilla T. And based on your comment from earlier, are we putting a poll up, or are we making an executive decision?
We probably ought to,
Okay.
seeing BTB is in the condition it is, maybe we ought to.
Okay. We will put a poll up back in our Discord. It's been a while since we've actually had a poll up, believe it or not. But before Halo Infinite,
we'll have A, B, or C this time.
Right. So we'll have A being MCC, B being Halo 5 on Xbox, and then C being Halo Infinite. And also, depending on how many people decide to show up, might be not necessarily doing BTB, but past experience has shown that people show up after 30 minutes or so, and it quickly goes into the BTB realm of things. So depending on what game you want to play, hop into our Discord, let us know which specific game you want to play by voting for that option, and then that will be used by GT to determine what game we'll be playing for the night. And those happen on Fridays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I missed any details there? I think I got everything.
Nope, you got everything.
Cool. There's a number of ways to support the podcast. We have just sharing us with your friends on social media or word of mouth. That does a lot of good for us. If you've got some people that are interested in Halo for the first time with Halo Infinite, and they're interested in learning about a podcast that talks about it, send them our way. We'd be happy to entice their ears with Halo goodness, and especially as we get into going through the campaign side of things and multiplayer, maybe give them a few tips and tricks that they may not know about. Maybe give them a place to interact with some other fans that play Halo on a somewhat regular basis, and we try to keep pretty family friendly for the most part with the podcast and the game nights. So if you need a safe space to play, we strive to make that a goal for our community. You can also help us out monetarily if you so choose by being a sub to us on Twitch. You can also support us over on Patreon. We got a number of rewards over there, including becoming a guest on the show, getting some Podtacular merch, getting access to our podcast VODs, a few other little things over there as well. You can go over to podtacular.com/Patreon and join some of our patrons, including Prestige Ace, Confowl, and Pins Halo. And then if you would like to donate to us directly, you can do that through PayPal, going to podtacular.com/donate. Gents, it's good to see you in the new year. Hopefully Halo has some brighter days coming in the weeks ahead. It seems like we've got some things happening in the right direction with all the XP changes that have happened. People seemed a lot more happy with the Fractures event now that it's back. Still things to be fixed. Everything's not necessarily up to where people want them to be quite fully yet, but it seems like we're heading in the right direction. So we'll see where the rest of the year takes us. Any final comments or greetings into the new year before we wrap this puppy up for the night?
Nothing from me.
Okay. I'm all good.
All right, well,
look forward to seeing everybody on Fridays.
See you on Friday. For those listening to this probably afterwards, because this usually comes out on Saturdays. Hope to see you next week. Hope to see some of your submissions for the Xbox giveaway and some of the additional feedback for talking about the first campaign mission and some of the multiplayer stuff for Recharge. Until we hear from you then, though, Happy New Year and keep on fracking trucks.